I'd like to introduce Paula from England, who takes LDNs for breast cancer. Thank you for joining me, Paula.
Oh, no problem.
Could you tell us when you were diagnosed with breast cancer?
In 2010.
Okay. Would you like to tell us what happened?
Yeah, I found a small lump on my right breast, and I just went to the GP, who said he thought it was nothing, but just to send me to consultant just to check. I had an mammogram. It turns out that breast was absolutely fine, but it picked up a slow-growing grade 1 on the left one. So, yeah, that was kind of a bit of a shock. So I went through the usual sort of treatments, which was lumpectomy, then radiation, tamoxifen, and kind of got on with it, really. But then 2 years later, just on a routine, like a routine examination, they found it reoccurred in the same breast. So that was, kind of a bit of a shock, because I'd kind of put it at the back of my mind after the 2 years, kind of got on with things, which I suppose you're supposed to do, aren't you?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But, anyway, he came back. This is the second time. The reoccurrence was probably worse than the first diagnosis, I'd say. Because, when I went to sort of get the results properly, I was on my own, so because I kind of thought it would be all right. And then they said, well, what you have to do is either another lumpectomy or mastectomy. And it was just hearing that word, mastectomy, that made me kind of like really kind of lose my breath for a moment. So that was pretty hard, really, because they kept saying, well, you've got the best kind of cancer, it's the grade 1, slow growing, your prognosis is great, kind of go away and have your life kind of thing. So, yeah, I think the reoccurrence was probably worse than the first time.
Mm-hmm. How old are you, Paula?
I'm 49 now. I've had it for 5 years, nearly 6.
Okay. So what happened after that?
I had a mastectomy and then a reconstruction, and prior to the reconstruction they do a scan just on sort of your chest area, and then after the reconstruction they do another one. Again, they all seem to be in these horrible hospital rooms, and get this like shock from nowhere, and they just said, oh, we think you've got stage 3, and the consultant sort of looking on his screen like, oh, I've seen something. And it was kind of news to him, and it was news to me, so we were both sort of recoiling in horror together. So he said, oh, right, there's something in your sternum, I think, so you'll have to have a PET scan. So we explained what that was. So, again, I just seem to be getting bus journeys. And there must be this woman walking around Manchester who's stunned. If you ever see a woman walking around Manchester, or anyone who's got like a stunned look, I kind of think, oh, right, okay, you've just had a cancer diagnosis. You've got a look. So that was that one. What did I do then? PET scan. The PET scan I had, and then I went back for the results for that. And I think I took my partner this time, because I was thinking, right, okay, let's go in with somebody else. And they said they'd found something in the spine. They thought it was 2 tumours, one at the top and one at the bottom. So they said, radiation, and that was kind of the next step, and it was stage 4. So I seem to be going through the stages, like some sort of game show, some horrid game show. It does seem to be like I was on some sort of ghost train, some cancer ghost train, where everything seemed to be okay, and then I'd be turn a corner and sort of like get the. It just seems to be one horrific thing after another, and you can recover, and then I don't know. It's just a really, really strange, surreal situation to be in. Yeah, so I'm through all that. I've had me radiation on it's in C3, which is in the neck. So they can't biopsy it because of where it is. So they said it's 97% cancer, but they probably won't know. So we kind of have to treat it as it is. So I had letrozole after that, which has sort of pushed me into the menopause. And that's it, really. But I think getting the stage 4 diagnosis, I just sort of went on a tailspin, really. And then when I went back for a routine appointment, and I just said, well, how long do you think I've got? Which I shouldn't have asked. I was getting a car loan, and I was wondering how many years I should get it out.
Dear goodness.
Oh, my God. I was thinking about, well, should I pay it off before I die? So I said, I'm thinking of getting a car loan for about 2-3 years, and I don't know if... And he said, well, you should live for another 40 years. So I said, oh, cool. He said, well, no, not if you've got cancer, not the cancer you've got.
Oh.
So again, I was on my own. And then I kept myself together, actually, and till I kind of got home and then thought, how am I going to tell people? How am I going to tell my partner who sat opposite me having my tea? How do I tell my family? So I just kept to myself for a bit, and then I joined a Facebook group which was to do with cancer, and it was mostly women from America.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to always put stuff up there. So I put it up there because I thought, well, I'll tell some strangers before I tell my family and just see how that sounds. And my Facebook page just lit up like a firework display of comments that people were like, don't worry, you'll be okay, and all this. And it was lovely.
Oh.
It was really lovely. And one particular post sort of, I think it saved your sanity. I mean, it's bonkers, but this man, or never me, in America, just put up, cancer can't live in an alkaline body, and make your own spelt bread. And I think that was the first time I'd realised that I didn't think that nutrition had any bearing on a cancer diagnosis. So that was probably something that a light bulb went off, and that ended me up where I am now, taking a drug that I think is really good. And I got round to that. I got onto the LDN because of this particular Facebook post made me think, right, I stayed up that night till about 2 in the morning reading on the internet about nutrition and cancer, and it led me on to reading a book called The Rainbow Diet by Chris Wollens. Read that and thought, hang on a minute, there's more to this than radiation and a death sentence. So I just then went on Chris Wollens' website, which is called Cancer Active, and I really wish I'd been on it before. Because before, I think I've been quite an obedient patient and just did what I was told. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to the doctors, but I suppose I did give over my health to somebody else, and I've come to think that it's my health and it's me who will get myself better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that led me to his website, which then led me to Yes for Life website, gave them a ring, and they put me in touch with a lady called Patricia Peat, who runs Cancer Options. Mm-hmm. So I gave her a ring, and then everything just changed from there. That's when she said, have you heard of LDN? And I said, no, don't know what it is. And she said, oh, I think she said, I don't always particularly like to prescribe another drug. It's nutrition or a different therapy, or but she said, I just think you'll work really well on it. So yeah, it kind of went from there.
Okay, so how did you manage to get a prescription for LDN? Was that easy?
It was really easy. I live in the UK, which you can't prescribe it for, but Patricia Peat sent me this report all about kind of my health and what I should do, and she gave me a contact number of a GP in Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
So, and a pharmacy in Scotland. So I rang them. They advised I speak to my doctor and my oncologist, my GP and the oncologist, and say this is what I'm planning to do. She said you don't have to, but just do. So I told my GP, and he's kind of, I took the report with me, and he's a really good GP. He's been excellent, but didn't really. I thought he'd kind of go, oh wow, this is brilliant, do. But it was like, well, whatever you want to do, do it. I told my oncologist, and they just said, well, there's always a lot of people trying to get money out of cancer patients, and you're probably best off having a spa break.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, do you know how much it costs? I said, it's £18 a month. I said, it's, people probably spend more than that in Starbucks. But she didn't, I know they're all, they can't get involved. So I just thought, well, never mind. My battle isn't here with you. My battle is getting myself well. So I did what I had to do, and then thought, right, okay, you just crack on. So I rang the GP in Scotland. He gave me a consultation over the telephone. That cost me £10, and I filled in a form for this. I had to get like a letter from my oncologist saying I have got what I've got, which they did, and that was that. And it landed on the doorstep about 2 weeks later, and continues to drop through my letterbox every month.
So when you first started, did you notice any side effects?
No, nothing. No. Well, good things, I suppose. I'm not. The letrozole, according to Patricia Peters, caused inflammation, which I didn't know that, which I'm not particularly happy with, but I'll see where I go with the future. But and that it kind of made you feel really stiff, especially in the mornings, and you sort of feel older than you actually are. So that has changed. It's still there a little bit, but it's not as bad. And I've been on it since May, and I did the doses where you start off low, and I'm on 4.5 now every day. I take it in the morning, and I don't know. I didn't see any immediate effects with my mood. She said I'd feel amazing, and so I waited for myself to feel amazing. I was still crying at a drop of a hat if someone mentioned something, and I was still a bit ratty with my partner. But I do feel like I'm getting stronger emotionally. I'd say, like now having this conversation now, if someone's told me, start from the beginning, I'd be in bits, I'd be crying, but I haven't. I feel like I'm getting that. That's an improvement.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, and we have many members that take LDN in the morning, and they have really good results. Yes, it doesn't. Even though I take mine at night, and years ago everyone used to take it at night, there are so many people that do take it in the morning and have good results, and many doctors actually tell their patients to take it in the morning. So I wouldn't worry about the fact that you're taking it in the morning. Yeah. So have you had any checkups on your cancer since you've been on LDN?
I've been on since May, so I've had one round of I keep having to have a scan, a CT scan for all the organs, and then once the spine, MRI from hell, but I got used to that as well. And it's stable. It's not going anywhere else. It's not. They just say it's not getting any bigger. But I'm kind of looking to the future, and I'm looking to eventually. Well, even if it stays as it is, I'm happy. But I'd love to sort of see it disappear. I don't know if I'm being a bit optimistic. Yeah. But I listen. I'm on the Facebook page of the people who LDN, and I can see the results in MS, and so I just kind of get on with it. Really, I feel quite like a little renegade. Really, when if I do tell people I get this drug from Scotland, because they look at me as if I'm a bit bonkers.
Yeah, I know.
You're doing what? You're getting it from where? What? So yeah, I'm quite proud of myself, really. That I'm nowhere near where I'm still on this journey of discovery, and I'm determined to maybe go down more of the alternative route. and continue reducing and all the other things that I do. I'm no saint by any means, but I have changed a lot about my lifestyle and my diet, and I have a job. I work full time. It's a job I love. I look normal. I suppose, apart from wonky breasts and the rest of it.
That's amazing. And maybe we can do a follow-up with you next year. That would be really good to see how you're getting on.
Yeah, it would be, yeah. I used to have every 3 months, but I've just told them every 4, and then now I've told them every 5, because I'm not too keen on being scanned, and I don't particularly like having to wait for results, because it just interferes with your life, and it sort of peppers your life with dread, and you dread going, and then you dread waiting for the results, and then you get this high, and then, oh, I'm okay, and then, I don't know whether this scanning business is particularly something I want to continue that regularly, if I can, but I don't know. I have to work that one out, I suppose, but once a year I'd be happy with. But yeah, if it goes, that'd be great.
Yes, well, when you have your next one, just drop me a line and let me know how you're getting on. And I'm sure we all wish you all the very best.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Do you have LDN experience to share? If so, please email me, linda@ldnrt.org. I look forward to hearing your story.